Part 1. Unleash Your Power, the Fundamental Beliefs of Mastery. In the first part of Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins lays the groundwork for personal transformation, asserting that the key to unlocking your potential lies in understanding and consciously directing your own psychology. He challenges us to move beyond limiting beliefs and embrace the fundamental power we already possess. Chapter 1. Dreams of Destiny, the Power of Decision. Explanation. Robbins begins by declaring that the most powerful force in the universe is the power of decision. He states that it's not what we say we want, but what we decide to commit to, that truly shapes our destiny. Decisions are not merely choices. They are the moments when we make a genuine commitment to produce a specific result, cutting off any other possibility. Deep analysis. Psychologically, this chapter challenges the common notion that circumstances or past events dictate our future. Robbins argues that this is a disempowering belief. Instead, he posits that true power lies in our ability to make conscious, committed decisions in the present moment. A decision is a psychological act of drawing a line in the sand, saying, "This is who I am, and this is what I'm committed to." When you make a true decision, it shifts your focus, your energy, and your entire state. It creates a sense of certainty and direction. Without genuine decisions, we merely wish and hope, often leading to inertia and frustration. Illustrative examples. The story of Frank as a teenager. Robbins recounts an anecdote about his own youth, illustrating the power of decision. He decided, as a broke teenager, that he would never again be poor. This wasn't a wish. It was a profound decision that fueled years of relentless effort and learning, ultimately transforming his financial reality. This unwavering commitment was the starting point for his later success. The power of personal commitment. Imagine someone struggling with an unhealthy habit like excessive procrastination. They might wish they were more productive, but a true decision means committing. I decide today to stop procrastinating on my most important tasks. This decision isn't just about wanting to stop. It's about making a firm internal pact, leading to immediate actions like setting specific deadlines or eliminating distractions. Nelson Mandela's decision. Though not explicitly in the book, a powerful parallel can be drawn to Nelson Mandela's decision to fight apartheid. Despite decades of imprisonment, his unwavering decision to pursue justice for his people never wavered. This deep, internal commitment shaped his actions, influenced millions, and ultimately changed the course of history. Practical application. Identify one area in your life where you've been trying but not truly achieving. Make a real decision today. Write it down clearly. For example, instead of "I'll try to get fit," write, "I decide to achieve my optimal health, starting today by exercising 30 minutes daily." This decision creates immediate momentum. Once you've made the decision, act on it immediately to reinforce the commitment. Chapter 2. Pain and Pleasure. The Driving Forces. Explanation. Robbins reveals that all human behavior, every action we take or fail to take, is ultimately driven by two primal forces: the avoidance of pain and the desire for pleasure. He states that we are wired to move away from pain and towards pleasure, and understanding this fundamental dynamic is key to predicting and changing behavior. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our brain is a magnificent survival mechanism. It constantly seeks to minimize perceived threats, pain, and maximize perceived rewards, pleasure. This pain-pleasure principle operates at a subconscious level. Often, we don't act because the pleasure of our current state, e.g., comfort of procrastination, outweighs the pain of change, e.g., effort of starting. Conversely, if the pain of not changing becomes greater than the pain of changing, we will act. Robbins emphasizes that to create lasting change, we must link massive pain to our old, undesirable behaviors and massive pleasure to our new, desired behaviors. Illustrative examples. The smoker's breakthrough. A smoker might want to quit, desire for pleasure of health, but the pain of withdrawal or the pleasure of smoking, stress relief, often keeps them stuck. Their breakthrough often comes when they link massive pain to smoking. If I keep smoking, I'll miss my kids' graduations. I'll be hooked up to machine. I'll die alone and miserable. Simultaneously, they link massive pleasure to quitting. Quitting means energy, freedom, seeing my grandkids grow up, living vibrantly. This shift in emotional association drives change. The business owner's growth. A business owner might be comfortable with steady but limited growth. To expand, they need to overcome the pain of risk and hard work. But if they link massive pain to stagnation, if I don't expand, my competitors will crush me, my team will leave, my vision will die. And massive pleasure to expansion. Expanding means fulfilling my potential, creating jobs, leaving a legacy, enjoying financial freedom. They'll find the motivation. The procrastinator's shift. A student habitually procrastinates. The immediate pleasure is relaxing now, avoiding the pain of hard work. To change, they must intensify the pain of procrastination. If I keep putting this off, I'll fail, disappoint myself, lose opportunities, feel incompetent. And amplify the pleasure of immediate action. Starting now means feeling accomplished, reducing stress, gaining confidence, achieving my goals. Practical application. To change any pattern, identify the behavior you want to change or create. Associate massive pain to not changing or to continuing the old behavior. Visualize the negative consequences vividly. Make it emotionally uncomfortable. Associate massive pleasure to changing or to adopting the new behavior. Visualize the positive outcomes vividly. Make it emotionally compelling and attractive. Leverage your physiology. Use your body to reinforce these associations. Change your posture, breathing, and facial expressions to embody the pain and pleasure, making the connection stronger. Chapter 3. The Force That Shapes Your Life. Neuroassociative Conditioning, NACE. Explanation. Robbins introduces neuroassociative conditioning, NACE, as his primary method for creating lasting change. He asserts that we are constantly associating pain and pleasure with our experiences. NAC is a deliberate, systematic process of repatterning your brain's associations to eliminate limiting beliefs and destructive habits, and to install empowering ones. It's about consciously breaking old patterns and forging new, beneficial neural pathways. Deep analysis. Psychologically, NAC directly leverages the pain-pleasure principle. Our brains form powerful neuroassociations, links between a stimulus and an emotional response. For example, if you associate pain with public speaking, your brain will trigger fear and avoidance. NAC involves a targeted 6-step process to break these negative associations and build positive ones. It's about interrupting the old pattern, creating an intense, immediate emotional experience of pain linked to the old behavior, then immediately linking pleasure to the new, desired behavior. This is not simply positive thinking. It's an active, energetic process of changing your internal wiring. This process helps us override our existing conditioning and create new, more empowering, conditioned responses. Illustrative examples. Eliminating a phobia, the Robbins way. Robbins famously works with individuals to eliminate phobias in minutes. If someone has an intense fear of snakes, pain associated with snakes, Robbins might first have them vividly recall all the times the phobia caused them pain and embarrassment, escalating the emotional intensity. Then, he might break the pattern by making them do something absurd, e.g., sing "Happy Birthday" while thinking of a snake. Immediately after, he'd have them vividly associate massive pleasure with being courageous and free from the phobia, even associating pleasant memories with a toy snake. This rapid pattern interruption and reassociation can rewire the brain's response. Overcoming procrastination with ENAC. A student habitually procrastinates. The pain is in starting the task. The pleasure is in immediate distraction. Using ENAC, the student would first vividly imagine the escalating pain of not doing the work. Failure, regret, stress, missing opportunities, making it truly unbearable emotionally. Then, they would immediately interrupt this negative state, e.g., by jumping up, shouting, changing posture. Finally, they would vividly associate massive pleasure with starting the task, feeling accomplished, competent, proud, seeing future success, reinforcing the new behavior. Building a habit of exercise. For someone who dreads exercise, the key is to associate massive pain with not exercising, e.g., visualizing future health problems, low energy, regret, and massive pleasure with exercising, e.g., visualizing vitality, confidence, achievements, the feeling of accomplishment. The process involves interrupting the old "I don't feel like it" pattern and immediately implementing the new pleasure-linked routine. Practical application. To use NAC for personal change, follow these steps. Identify the current problem behavior or limiting belief you want to change, e.g., fear of public speaking, procrastination, anger. Associate massive pain to not changing or to continuing the old pattern. Vividly imagine all the negative consequences, escalating the emotional intensity. Interrupt the pattern. Physically break your state. Jump, shout, clap, change your posture dramatically. This disrupts the old neurological pathway. Create a new, empowering alternative behavior or belief. Associate massive pleasure to adopting this new pattern. Vividly imagine all the positive outcomes and emotions. Condition it. Reinforce the new association repeatedly through practice, visualization, and consistent action until it becomes automatic. Chapter 4. Belief Systems: The Power to Create and Destroy. Explanation. Robbins asserts that our belief systems are the ultimate force shaping our lives. Beliefs are simply feelings of certainty about something. He argues that what we believe determines what we are capable of, what we perceive as possible, and ultimately what actions we take or don't take. Limiting beliefs are often the biggest obstacles to achieving our potential. Deep analysis. Psychologically, beliefs act like internal commands to our nervous system. If you believe something is impossible, your brain will not even try to find a way to do it. If you believe you are not capable, your brain will filter information to confirm that belief, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Beliefs are formed through repeated experiences, interpretations, and often the influence of authorities or peers. Robbins emphasizes that true change requires changing our beliefs, not just our behaviors. He introduces the concept of reference experiences, the events and memories that give us proof for our beliefs. To change a limiting belief, you must question its validity, find counterexamples, and create new, empowering reference experiences. Faith, according to Robbins, is a strong belief in the unknown, leading to action. Illustrative examples: the impossible mile. For centuries, it was believed that no human could run a mile in under 4 minutes. This was a limiting belief. Then, in 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier. Almost immediately, many other runners also achieved it. What changed? Not human physiology, but the belief system. Once someone proved it was possible, others' internal limitations dissolved. The power of placebo effect. The placebo effect is a powerful example of belief. If someone believes a sugar pill is a potent medicine, their body can often respond as if it truly is, triggering healing. This demonstrates how deeply our beliefs can influence our physical and mental states, commanding our nervous system to create a specific reality. Overcoming a "I'm not good enough" belief. Someone might believe, "I'm not good enough to succeed in this career." This belief stems from past failures or criticisms, negative reference experiences. To change it, they would question the certainty. Is it really true I'm not good enough? What proof do I have? Find counterexamples. When have I ever succeeded, even in a small way? Who believes in me? Create new reference experiences. Take small, successful actions, no matter how tiny, and celebrate them as proof of capability. Consistently focusing on these successes builds a new, empowering belief. Practical application. Identify a limiting belief that is holding you back, e.g., "I'm too old," "I'm not smart enough," "I can't make money." Question its certainty. Challenge the evidence for this belief. Where did it come from? Is it absolutely true? Find counterexamples or cracks in the belief. Recall times when you did succeed, or when someone with similar limitations achieved their goals. Create new, empowering reference experiences. Take deliberate, small actions that prove the opposite of your limiting belief. Celebrate these small wins vividly. Develop a new, empowering belief, e.g., "I am capable of learning and growing. My potential is limitless." Reinforce the new belief through repetition, visualization, and positive self-talk. Chapter 5. It's all in the state, the power of your emotional state. Explanation. Robbins emphasizes that our emotional state at any given moment fundamentally determines our behavior and the quality of our lives. He asserts that we are not our circumstances. We are our states. He teaches that you can instantly change your emotional state by consciously altering your physiology, how you use your body, and your focus, what you concentrate on. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our emotions are powerful drivers. When we're in a disempowering state, e.g., fear, frustration, boredom, our actions are limited. When we're in an empowering state, e.g., certainty, joy, passion, we access our full potential. Robbins argues that emotions aren't things that happen to us, they are largely created by us through a combination of our physical actions and our mental focus. Our physiology, posture, breathing, facial expressions, and our focus, the questions we ask ourselves, the mental images we hold, are the two master controls of our emotional state. By deliberately changing these, we can instantly shift out of a negative state and into an empowering one, regardless of external circumstances. Illustrative examples. The power pose. Robbins often demonstrates how simply changing your posture can change your emotional state. Slumped shoulders, a downward gaze, and shallow breathing, disempowering physiology, naturally lead to feelings of sadness or lethargy. Conversely, standing tall, shoulders back, chin up, and taking deep breaths, empowering physiology, can instantly create feelings of confidence and energy. He might show someone feeling shy, transform into a confident speaker just by adopting a power pose. Changing focus to change. Emotion. If you're feeling overwhelmed, your focus is likely on all the problems. Robbins might ask you to instead focus on what you're grateful for, or what small step you can take right now. Shifting your mental focus from what's wrong to what's right or what's possible can dramatically alter your emotional state, even without changing your external situation. The Olympic athlete's rituals. Before a competition, an Olympic athlete might have a specific ritual, jumping up and down, shouting affirmations, or visualizing victory. These are conscious uses of physiology and focus to create a peak emotional state of confidence, excitement, and readiness, overriding any fear or doubt. Practical application. To shift your emotional state in any moment, change your physiology. Immediately change your posture, breathing, and facial expressions. Stand tall, smile, take deep breaths, move with energy. Change your focus. Consciously decide what you're going to think about. Ask empowering questions like, what am I grateful for right now? What can I learn from this? What's great about this situation? Or, what's good about this problem? Use empowering language, as we'll discuss next. The words you use to describe your experience profoundly impact how you feel. By mastering these two levers, you gain immense control over your emotional destiny. Chapter 6. The Vocabulary of Ultimate Success. Transformational Vocabulary. Explanation. Robbins introduces the concept of transformational vocabulary, TV, arguing that the words we habitually use to describe our experiences significantly influence our emotional states, our beliefs, and our actions. By consciously choosing more empowering and precise words, we can change our perception of events and our emotional responses. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our language is not just a tool for communication, it's a tool for thought and feeling. The words we use are like internal commands. If you describe a minor inconvenience as a disaster, your brain and body will react with the stress response of a disaster. If you describe the same event as a minor challenge, your response will be entirely different. TV is about substituting common, disempowering words, e.g., depressed, angry, frustrated, with less intense or more positive alternatives, e.g., a bit down, annoyed, challenged. It's also about using empowering words to describe positive experiences, amplifying their impact. This practice consciously reprograms our neurological associations with events. Illustrative examples. Reframing emotions. Instead of saying, "I'm depressed," try, "I'm feeling a little bit down." Instead of, "I'm furious," try, "I'm feeling a little annoyed." The lower intensity of the word immediately reduces the emotional charge and gives you more control. The salesperson's language shift. A salesperson struggling with rejection might habitually say, "I failed that pitch," or "that client rejected me." This creates a disempowering state. By changing their vocabulary to, "I learned a lot from that pitch," or "that client simply wasn't a perfect fit at this time," they maintain a positive emotional state and stay resilient. Amplifying positive experiences. Instead of just saying, "That was good," try, "That was outstanding," "That was extraordinary," or "That was magnificent." Using stronger, more vibrant words to describe positive experiences elevates your emotional state and reinforces positive associations. Practical application. Identify your habitual, disempowering words. Pay attention to the words you frequently use when you're feeling down, frustrated, or stressed. Create a list of transformational alternatives. For each disempowering word, find a less intense or more empowering substitute, e.g., stressed becomes challenged, furious becomes a bit annoyed, frustrated becomes intrigued. Consciously use your new vocabulary. Practice using these new words, especially when you feel a negative emotion creeping in. This interrupts the old pattern and creates a new, more resourceful state. Amplify positive emotions. Use more intense, joyful, and powerful words to describe the good things in your life. This reinforces pleasure associations and boosts your emotional energy. Part 2. Taking Control, the Master System. Having built the foundational understanding of our internal power in Part 1, Tony Robbins now moves us to Part 2, Taking Control, the Master System. This section is about leveraging that internal power to consciously direct our lives, set compelling goals, and consistently move towards our desired future. It's about taking the reins and becoming the master of your own destiny rather than a passenger. Chapter 7. What do you really want? The Power of Goals. Explanation. Robbins emphatically states that clarity of desire is power. He argues that most people don't achieve their dreams, not because they lack ability, but because they lack a clear, compelling vision of what they truly want. This chapter emphasizes the critical importance of setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals, but more importantly, aligning them with your deepest values and creating an emotional connection to them. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our brain is a goal-seeking mechanism. When you give it a clear, emotionally charged target, it instinctively begins to work towards it, often revealing pathways you didn't see before. Without clear goals, our energy disperses, and we fall into the trap of activity without direction. Robbins highlights that setting goals isn't just about listing achievements. It's about connecting to the why behind those goals, the ultimate feelings and experiences you believe achieving those goals will bring. This emotional connection fuels motivation and perseverance. He also stresses the need for massive action once goals are set, as belief without action is merely hope. Illustrative examples. The power of precise target setting. Imagine an archer. If they just aim somewhere, they'll hit nothing. But if they clearly visualize the bullseye, their entire body aligns to hit that specific target. Similarly, Robbins recounts how many successful individuals he coached had incredibly clear, vivid goals. They didn't just want more money. They wanted a specific amount by a specific date for a specific purpose. This precision activates the brain's goal-achieving mechanism. The emotionally charged goal. A person wants to lose weight. If the goal is just lose 20 pounds, it might not stick. But if they connect it to the emotional reward, I want to lose 20 pounds by my daughter's wedding so I can feel confident, dance freely, and be fully present in every joyful moment. The emotional intensity makes the goal compelling and actionable. The brain now associates pain with not losing weight and immense pleasure with achieving that specific vision. Walt Disney's vision. Walt Disney famously had an incredibly clear vision for Disneyland. He didn't just want an amusement park. He meticulously envisioned every detail, every experience, every feeling he wanted visitors to have. This precise end in mind, habit 2 from Covey, but a core concept here, guided the entire creation process, turning an abstract idea into a concrete reality. Practical application. Define your top 3 to 5 most important goals in each major area of your life, e.g., personal development, career, relationships, finances, health. Make them SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Connect to the why. For each goal, write down vividly how you will feel when you achieve it. What pleasure will it bring? What pain will it alleviate? Visualize intensely, regularly, daily. Spend time visualizing yourself having already achieved these goals, feeling the associated emotions. Develop a massive action plan. Break down each goal into smaller, actionable steps. Take immediate action, no matter how small, to build momentum. Chapter 8. The Science of Achievement and the Art of Fulfillment. Explanation. Robbins makes a crucial distinction. Achievement is about reaching external goals, while fulfillment is about the internal state of joy and satisfaction. He argues that many people achieve great success but feel unfulfilled because they chase goals that don't align with their deepest values. True success lies in the balance of both achievement and fulfillment. Deep analysis. Psychologically, humans are wired for growth and contribution. Achievement often provides temporary pleasure, but true, lasting fulfillment comes from living in alignment with our core values and contributing beyond ourselves. This chapter emphasizes the importance of understanding your hierarchy of values. What is most important to you in life? Security, love, growth, contribution, significance. When your goals and actions align with your highest values, you experience genuine fulfillment. When they don't, even external success can feel hollow. Robbins suggests that fulfillment is derived from connecting with something greater than ourselves and contributing meaningfully. Illustrative examples. The unhappy millionaire. Robbins often speaks of individuals who achieved immense financial success but found themselves deeply unhappy or even suicidal. They achieved the how-to, money, status, but neglected the why, meaning, purpose, connection. Their achievement was external, but their inner world was bankrupt because their pursuits didn't align with their true values, such as connection or personal growth. The athlete's post-victory emptiness. An athlete trains for years to win an Olympic gold medal. They achieve it, but then fall into a depression. This is the distinction. They achieve the goal, external achievement. But if the process didn't align with a deeper sense of growth, purpose, or contribution, or if they didn't have new, compelling goals, fulfillment was elusive. The joy of contribution. Conversely, a person who might not be rich by conventional standards, but spends their life helping others, teaching, or creating art that inspires, often experiences profound fulfillment. Their actions are deeply aligned with values of compassion, creativity, and contribution, leading to inner peace and joy. Practical application. Identify your top 5 to 7 core values. What truly matters most to you in life, e.g., health, integrity, love, freedom, adventure, security, contribution, learning. Rank them in order of importance. Evaluate your current goals and activities. Do they align with your highest values? If not, adjust your goals to ensure they serve what truly fulfills you. Integrate contribution. Find ways to contribute to something larger than yourself, whether through volunteering, mentoring, or simply helping others in your daily life. Contribution is a fundamental path to fulfillment. Practice daily gratitude. Regularly acknowledging what you're grateful for shifts your focus to abundance and appreciation, a key component of fulfillment. Chapter 9 Rules. The Heart of Your Life, the Power of Your Beliefs, Explanation. This chapter delves into the concept of rules, the unconscious blueprints we create for how we believe we must act or how the world must operate for us to feel good, pleasure, or avoid pain. Robbins states that these rules, often unspoken and unknown even to ourselves, profoundly dictate our emotions and behaviors. Deep analysis. Psychologically, rules are deeply ingrained beliefs about cause and effect. If X happens, then I must feel Y. Or, if I do A, then I will get B. The problem arises when our rules are disempowering, e.g., I only feel loved if someone never disagrees with me, or impossible to meet, e.g., I must be perfect to feel successful. These rigid, often unconscious rules lead to chronic frustration, disappointment, and disempowering emotions. The solution is to identify and consciously change your rules to be more empowering, realistic, and flexible. Robbins emphasizes that we often have pain rules, what must happen for us to feel pain, and pleasure rules, what must happen for us to feel pleasure. By making it hard to feel pain and easy to feel pleasure, we gain control over our emotional states and, subsequently, our actions. Illustrative examples. The must be perfect rule. Someone might have an unconscious rule. I only feel successful if everything I do is absolutely perfect. This rule makes it incredibly difficult to feel successful, as perfection is unattainable. By changing the rule to, I feel successful when I give my best effort and learn from the outcome, they make it much easier to experience positive emotions and take action. The being loved rule. A person might have the rule, I only feel loved if my partner says, I love you exactly 3 times a day. This is an impossible rule, leading to constant anxiety and feeling unloved. By changing the rule to, I feel loved when my partner shows me care in any way they choose, whether through words, actions, or presence, they open themselves up to experiencing love more broadly. The frustrated boss. A manager might have a rule. My team must always meet deadlines perfectly for me to feel good about them. When a deadline is missed, inevitable in complex projects, they feel immense pain and frustration. By changing the rule to, I feel good about my team when they communicate challenges proactively and show commitment to finding solutions, even if a deadline needs adjustment. The manager reduces their own stress and fosters a more collaborative environment. Practical application. Identify a disempowering emotion you frequently experience, e.g., frustration, feeling unappreciated, stress. Ask, what rule do I have that's causing this emotion? What has to happen for you to feel this way? E.g., I feel unappreciated only if my boss doesn't explicitly thank me after every task. Challenge the rule. Is it realistic? Is it serving you? Create new empowering rules. Make them easy to meet and more flexible. E.g., I feel appreciated when I know I've given my best and when my boss gives me positive feedback on projects. Test the new rule. Actively look for evidence that your new rule is valid and leads to more positive emotions. Chapter 10. Questions are the answers. The power of empowering questions. Explanation. Robbins asserts that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you habitually ask yourself. He explains that questions instantly shift our focus, and by asking empowering questions, we can direct our minds to find solutions, resources, and positive emotions, even in challenging situations. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our brains are like sophisticated search engines. When we ask a question, our brains immediately begin to search for an answer. If we ask disempowering questions like, why does this always happen to me? Or, why am I so bad at this? Our brain will inevitably find answers that confirm those negative assumptions, leading to feelings of victimhood and helplessness. Conversely, by consciously asking empowering questions, e.g., what's great about this? What can I learn from this? How can I make this even better? We force our brains to focus on solutions, opportunities, and gratitude, instantly changing our emotional state and opening up new possibilities. This is a powerful tool for instantly redirecting our internal focus and interrupting negative thought patterns. Illustrative examples. The problem-solving shift. Imagine a business owner facing a sudden drop in sales. If they habitually ask, why are sales so terrible? What did I do wrong? They'll likely feel despair and self-blame. If they shift to asking, what's great about this challenge? What unique opportunities does it present? What are 3 ways I can immediately improve sales? Their brain will actively seek out solutions, leading to proactive steps rather than paralysis. The morning power questions. Robbins suggests starting each day with a set of power questions to put yourself in an optimal state. Examples include, what am I most happy about in my life right now? What am I most excited about? What am I most proud of? What am I most grateful for? And who do I love and who loves me? By actively seeking answers to these questions, you flood your mind with positive emotions and focus, setting a resourceful tone for your day. Reframing a setback. A person experiences a significant professional setback. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me? Why am I such a failure?" they could ask, "What is the universe trying to teach me here? What strengths do I have that I can now leverage? How can this experience make me stronger and more resilient?" This shift in questioning transforms a perceived failure into a learning opportunity. Practical application. Become aware of your habitual questions. Notice what questions you automatically ask yourself when you're stressed, upset, or facing a challenge. Identify disempowering questions. If a question makes you feel worse or leads to blaming, it's disempowering. Replace them with empowering questions. Develop a go-to list of questions that automatically shift your focus to solutions, gratitude, and growth. Keep them handy. Practice daily. Regularly ask yourself morning power questions and evening power questions, e.g., what did I learn today? How did I contribute today? This consciously programs your brain for positivity and growth. Chapter 11. The Vocabulary of Ultimate Success. Transformational Vocabulary. Revisited and expanded. Explanation. This chapter builds upon the concept of transformational vocabulary, TV, introduced in Part 1, emphasizing its profound role in shaping our emotional states and, consequently, our reality. Robbins asserts that the words we habitually use to describe our experiences do not just reflect our emotions. They create them. By consciously choosing more empowering and precise words, we can instantly change our perception of events and our emotional responses. Deep analysis. Psychologically, language is the operating system of our minds. Every word carries an emotional intensity. If you describe a minor inconvenience as a catastrophe or a disaster, your brain and nervous system will generate the corresponding physiological and emotional response of a catastrophe. If you describe the same event as a minor challenge or an interesting situation, your internal state will be entirely different. Transformational vocabulary is about consciously substituting common, disempowering words with less intense, more empowering, or more positive alternatives. It's also about using vibrant, high-energy words to describe positive experiences, thereby amplifying their emotional impact and reinforcing positive associations in our brains. This practice consciously reprograms our neurological associations with events and our internal rules for feeling pain or pleasure. Illustrative examples. Reframing common emotions. Instead of saying, "I'm depressed," try, "I'm feeling a little bit down," "I'm taking a pause," or "I'm in a thoughtful state." Instead of "I'm furious," try, "I'm feeling annoyed," "I'm a little heated," or "I'm energized to find a solution." The shift to a less intense word immediately reduces the emotional charge and gives you more control over your state. The entrepreneur's resilience. An entrepreneur faces a significant business setback. If they habitually say, "I'm failing," or "this is hopeless," they will feel demoralized. If they use transformational vocabulary like, "This is a learning opportunity," "I'm feeling challenged," or "I'm resourceful enough to figure this out," their internal state remains resilient and problem-solving oriented. Amplifying positive experiences. To boost positive emotions, use more powerful words. Instead of just saying, "That was good," try, "That was magnificent," "That was extraordinary," "That was phenomenal," or "I'm absolutely ecstatic about that." Using stronger, more vibrant words elevates your emotional state and reinforces positive associations, making you feel even better about your successes and experiences. Practical application. Become aware of your habitual vocabulary. Pay close attention to the words you frequently use, especially when describing negative experiences or emotions. Create your transformational vocabulary list. For every disempowering word you identify, write down 2 to 3 alternative, more empowering or less intense words. Consciously practice substitution. Actively force yourself to use your new vocabulary, especially when you feel a negative emotion creeping in. This interrupts the old pattern and creates a new, more resourceful state. Elevate your positive vocabulary. Make a conscious effort to use more powerful, joyful, and enthusiastic words when describing positive things in your life. This reinforces pleasure associations and boosts your emotional energy. Chapter 12. Metaphors that shape your life, the stories we tell ourselves. Explanation. This chapter explores how metaphors, the unconscious comparisons and narratives we use to describe ourselves and the world, profoundly shape our beliefs, emotions, and behaviors. Robbins argues that often our greatest limitations come from disempowering metaphors we live by. Deep analysis. Psychologically, metaphors are not just figures of speech. They are fundamental to how we understand and organize our experiences. If you unconsciously view life as a battle, you'll constantly be fighting, feeling exhausted. If you view your career as a climb, you'll always be striving, perhaps never feeling satisfied at the top. These deeply ingrained metaphors act as powerful lenses through which we interpret reality. They dictate our rules and the questions we ask. To change your life, you often need to change the fundamental metaphors you use to describe yourself, your challenges, and your opportunities. Robbins emphasizes that consciously adopting empowering metaphors can instantly shift your perspective, emotional state, and capacity for action. Illustrative examples. Life as a game versus life as a battlefield. Someone who views life as a battlefield will approach every interaction as a fight, see others as enemies, and feel constantly stressed or defensive. Someone who views life as a game will look for strategies, enjoy the challenges, and be resilient when losing a round. The metaphor dictates the emotional experience and the behavioral response. I am a machine versus I am a garden. An individual who unconsciously believes I am a machine might push themselves relentlessly, expecting perfect output and feeling broken when they inevitably need rest or make mistakes. This can lead to burnout. Someone who believes I am a garden will understand the need for nurturing, consistent care, periods of rest, and the natural cycles of growth and renewal. This metaphor fosters self-compassion and sustainable productivity. The weight loss journey metaphor. Many people view weight loss as a brutal uphill battle. This metaphor instantly creates resistance and makes the process feel arduous. By reframing it as a journey of self-discovery and vibrant health, the emotional association shifts, making the process more enjoyable and sustainable. Practical application. Identify your unconscious metaphors. What comparisons do you habitually use to describe your life, your career, your relationships, or yourself? Life is a roller coaster. My job is a rat race. I'm a victim of circumstance. Challenge disempowering metaphors. Ask yourself, is this metaphor truly serving me? What emotions does it create? Create new, empowering metaphors. Consciously choose new, inspiring metaphors that resonate with your desired future. Life is an adventure. My career is a canvas for creativity. I am a master sculptor of my destiny. Integrate and live by the new metaphors. Use your new metaphors in your thoughts, language, and actions. Visualize yourself acting according to your new, empowering narratives. Part 3. The 7 Days to Shape Your Life, a Practical Application. We've journeyed through the foundational principles of personal power in Part 1 and mastered the internal control systems in Part 2. Now, in Part 3 of Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins shifts from theory to intense, practical application. This section is designed as a direct, actionable guide, a 7-day challenge, if you will, to immediately implement the strategies you've learned and begin reshaping your life with deliberate intention. It's about moving from understanding to doing, from insight to immediate transformation. Each day or chapter represents a concentrated focus on applying specific tools to a key area of your life, designed to create rapid and profound shifts. Day 1. Emotional Mastery, the Science of Success, and the Art of Fulfillment. Explanation. This day is dedicated to mastering your emotions, which Robbins considers the music of life. It's about learning to consciously shift from disempowering states like fear, anger, frustration, to empowering ones like joy, passion, gratitude, at will, regardless of external circumstances. Deep analysis. Building on the principles of physiology, focus, and transformational vocabulary from Part 2, this day provides exercises to actively take control of your emotional patterns. Psychologically, emotions are signals, not dictators. When we learn to identify the triggers of negative emotions and immediately intervene by changing our physical state, shifting our mental focus, and choosing empowering language, we break the old neurological pathways that lead to habitual negativity. This creates emotional flexibility and resilience. The goal isn't to deny negative emotions, but to process them quickly and move into a resourceful state for action. Illustrative examples. The pattern interrupt for frustration. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, feeling furious. Robbins would have you immediately change your physiology, straighten up, take 3 deep breaths, force a smile. Then, shift your focus. What's great about this? I have time to listen to this audiobook. What can I learn from this unexpected pause? Finally, use transformational vocabulary. Instead of "I'm enraged," say "I'm just feeling a little impatient." This sequence breaks the negative pattern and allows you to choose a new, more resourceful emotional state. The gratitude exercise. A core practice for emotional mastery is daily gratitude. Robbins would have you spend several minutes each day, often upon waking or before sleep, vividly listing and feeling grateful for specific things, no matter how small, e.g., I'm grateful for the warmth of my coffee, the sound of my child's laughter, the ability to see. This conscious focus on appreciation floods your system with positive emotions, making it difficult to feel fear or anger simultaneously. Overcoming overwhelm. If you feel overwhelmed, your physiology might be slumped, and your focus on all the tasks you haven't done. To shift, stand tall, take a deep breath, and ask, what's the one thing I can do right now that would make the biggest difference? This changes your state and directs you to immediate productive action. Practical application. Morning ritual. Start your day with a power hour, or at least 10 to 15 minutes, dedicated to consciously creating an empowering state. Use gratitude exercises, visualization of your ideal day, and affirmations. State management on the go. Throughout the day, whenever you feel a disempowering emotion, immediately intervene by changing your physiology, posture, breathing, movement, and redirecting your focus through empowering questions. Evening review. Before bed, review your day, focusing on what went well and what you learned. Ask, what was great about today? And what did I learn today? To reinforce positive states. Day 2. Physical mastery, the vehicle of success. Explanation. This day emphasizes that your body is your temple and your ultimate vehicle for creating the life you desire. Robbins stresses the importance of optimal physical vitality as the foundation for energy, clarity, and sustained emotional and mental performance. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our physical state profoundly impacts our mental and emotional states. Low energy, poor health, or chronic fatigue can undermine willpower, clarity of thought, and emotional resilience. Robbins advocates for a fundamental shift in how we view our bodies, not just as something to look good, but as a dynamic system that needs consistent care to produce peak performance. He introduces principles of alkaline living, proper hydration, conscious breathing, and consistent movement as keys to vitality. When you feel physically strong and energized, it naturally fuels your passion, confidence, and capacity for action in all other areas of life. Illustrative examples. The power of hydration. Robbins often emphasizes drinking plenty of water, especially upon waking. He explains how even slight dehydration can impact cognitive function, energy levels, and mood. By consistently hydrating, you can feel a noticeable boost in mental clarity and physical vitality. Conscious breathing. Most people breathe shallowly. Robbins teaches techniques like diaphragmatic breathing, breathing into your belly, and rhythmic breathing. 4 seconds in, 16 seconds hold, 8 seconds out, to flood the body with oxygen and calm the nervous system. This immediately impacts stress levels and energy. The energy circuit exercise. Robbins might lead an audience through a simple exercise where they clench their fists, tense their muscles, and make a powerful sound. This immediate, intense physical action is designed to break a passive state and generate instant energy and focus, demonstrating the immediate link between physiology and vitality. Practical application. Hydration. First, start your day with a large glass of water. Carry water with you throughout the day. Conscious movement. Integrate some form of exercise daily, even if it's just a brisk walk. Prioritize movement that makes you feel alive and energized. Power breaths. Practice conscious, deep breathing exercises for a few minutes multiple times a day to manage stress and boost energy. Alkaline eating principles. Focus on consuming more fresh fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, and reducing processed foods, sugars, and excessive acids to maintain body balance and energy. Day 3. Relationship Mastery, the ultimate connection. Explanation. This day focuses on transforming your relationships, recognizing that the quality of your connections with others significantly impacts your joy and fulfillment. Robbins provides tools to deepen understanding, resolve conflicts, and cultivate lasting bonds based on appreciation and shared purpose. Deep analysis. Psychologically, humans are social creatures with a fundamental need for connection and belonging. Unfulfilling relationships can be a major source of pain and stress. Robbins emphasizes the importance of understanding the other person's map of the world, their unique perspectives, values, and rules. He highlights the power of empathy, understanding their feelings, and appreciation, acknowledging their worth. Communication strategies like the mirroring of physiology and the use of transformational vocabulary in conflict resolution are key. The goal is to shift from judgment and blame to understanding and mutual contribution, creating a win-win dynamic in all interactions. Illustrative examples. Understanding another's map. Imagine arguing with your partner about money. You might value security while they value freedom. Without understanding these differing maps, conflict is inevitable. By taking the time to truly understand their top values and rules, you can find common ground or compromise that respects both perspectives. The power of appreciation. Robbins often recounts stories of relationships transforming when individuals genuinely expressed appreciation for their loved ones, not just for what they do, but for who they are. A simple, sincere, "I appreciate your kindness," or "I admire your strength," can build immense rapport and emotional connection. Resolving conflict with understanding. When a conflict arises, instead of immediately defending your position, Robbins would advise you to seek first to understand, similar to Covey's Habit 5. Ask, "What are you feeling right now? What is truly important to you in this situation?" Listen with genuine curiosity. Only after they feel completely understood can you then calmly express your perspective. Practical application. Identify key relationships. Choose 1 to 2 important relationships you want to improve. Understand their map. Ask open-ended questions about their values, dreams, fears, and rules. Really listen. Practice radical appreciation. Find at least one specific thing to genuinely appreciate about the other person each day and express it. Resolve conflicts with empathy. When disagreements arise, focus on understanding their viewpoint first and then finding a win-win solution. Use I statements instead of you statements to express your feelings. Day 4. Financial Mastery, the Power of Wealth. Explanation. This day is about achieving financial independence and creating abundance, not just for material possessions, but for the freedom and contribution it enables. Robbins emphasizes that wealth mastery is less about how much money you earn and more about how you manage it and the mindset you adopt towards it. Deep analysis. Psychologically, our relationship with money is often riddled with limiting beliefs and fear. Scarcity mentality. Many people associate pain with saving or investing. or pleasure with immediate gratification through spending. Robbins challenges these deep-seated patterns, urging us to shift our focus from mere earning to accumulating and growing assets. He advocates for a pay-yourself-first philosophy, making saving and investing an automatic habit. True financial freedom comes from having passive income that covers your expenses, giving you the ultimate choice and flexibility in life. This requires discipline, a clear financial blueprint, and the commitment to consistently allocate a portion of your earnings towards your financial future. Illustrative examples. The pay yourself first principle. Robbins often tells the story of how many wealthy individuals, regardless of their income level, consistently set aside a percentage of every dollar they earned for savings and investments before paying any bills or indulging in luxuries. This wasn't a choice they made each month. It became an ingrained, automatic habit. For instance, putting 10% of every paycheck directly into a separate savings account makes building wealth a default rather than an effort. The power of compound interest. He emphasizes understanding the magic of compound interest, where your money starts working for you, growing exponentially over time. He might illustrate how even small, consistent investments made early in life can accumulate into millions over decades, far outpacing what manual labor alone could achieve. This creates a powerful incentive to make saving a pleasure-linked habit. From consumer to investor mindset. Many people are habitual consumers. Robbins encourages a shift to an investor mindset, where money is seen as a seed to be planted and grown, rather than just something to be spent. He might highlight stories of ordinary people who became millionaires not through high salaries, but through consistent, disciplined investing in diversified assets. Practical application. Set clear financial goals. Define exactly how much you want to save, invest, and when. Create a clear financial freedom number. Automate. Pay yourself first. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts on payday before you even see the money. Create a budget and track spending. Understand where your money is going. Identify areas to reduce discretionary spending and redirect funds towards your financial goals. Educate yourself on investing. Learn the basics of investing, e.g., index funds, real estate, to make informed decisions about growing your wealth. Visualize financial freedom. Regularly visualize yourself living a life of financial abundance and the freedom it provides, linking massive pleasure to your saving and investing habits. Day 5. Time Mastery, the ultimate leverage explanation. This day is dedicated to mastering your time, recognizing that time is your most precious and non-renewable resource. Robbins teaches that effective time management isn't about doing more things, but about doing the right things effectively and with intensity, aligning your actions with your highest priorities. Deep analysis. Psychologically, many people feel overwhelmed by time because they lack clear focus and fail to prioritize. They spend time reacting to urgencies, what Covey calls quadrant 1 and 3 activities, rather than proactively investing in what is truly important, quadrant 2. Robbins emphasizes that true time mastery comes from understanding your highest values and goals from day 1 and 2, and then dedicating your most productive hours to those tasks. He advocates for aggressive prioritization, elimination of distractions, and focused execution. The key is to leverage your time by engaging in activities that produce the greatest long-term results, maximizing your return on time invested. Illustrative examples: the focus-driven productivity. Robbins contrasts merely busy people with productive people. A busy person might work 12 hours but spread thin across many tasks. A productive person might work 8 hours but dedicate their most energetic blocks to their top 2 to 3 high-leverage tasks, achieving far more impactful results. He might highlight entrepreneurs who built empires by mastering intense, focused work sessions on their core priorities. The MIT most important task. Principle. A simple yet powerful technique is to identify your most important task, MIT, for the day or week. This is the one task that, if completed, would make the biggest positive impact. You commit to completing this MIT first, before getting sidetracked by anything else. This ensures that your valuable time is directed towards your highest leverage activities. Eliminating time wasters. Robbins encourages ruthless identification and elimination of time-wasting activities, e.g., excessive social media, unproductive meetings, endless email checking. He might illustrate how individuals reclaimed hours of their day by consciously saying no to low-value demands and redirecting that time towards their goals. Practical application. Identify your MITs. At the start of each day or week, list your top 1 to 3 most important tasks that align with your major goals. Block time for MITs. Schedule specific, uninterrupted blocks of time in your calendar for your MITs. Treat these appointments as sacred. Ruthlessly prioritize. Learn to say no, or not now, to tasks that are not truly important or urgent. Use the time management matrix, similar to Covey's Quadrant 2 focus. Minimize distractions. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Create an environment conducive to deep focus during your MIT blocks. Review and adjust. At the end of each day/week, review how you spent your time. Did it align with your priorities? What can you adjust to be more effective next time? Day 6. Master your destiny, compelling you to act. Explanation. This day is about harnessing the ultimate power source for consistent action, compulsion. Robbins asserts that we don't just act based on desire, we act based on what we feel absolutely compelled to do. This chapter reveals how to create a compelling vision and psychological triggers that make taking massive action inevitable. Deep analysis. Psychologically, humans are driven by 2 forces: inspiration and desperation. While inspiration can start us, compulsion makes us consistent. Robbins teaches how to create a powerful internal state where the pain of not taking action becomes far greater than the pain of taking action. This isn't about external pressure, but internal conviction. He emphasizes using the pain-pleasure principle from day 2 to link massive pain to inaction and massive pleasure to taking immediate, consistent steps toward your goals. He also re-emphasizes the role of a strong reference pattern and identity. If you identify as someone who always follows through, your brain will compel you to act accordingly. Illustrative examples. Burning the ships. Robbins uses the classic metaphor of Cortez burning his ships upon landing in the New World. This act created an unshakable compulsion. Retreat was impossible, so victory was the only option. In personal terms, this means making a decision so firm that retreat is not an option, forcing you to find a way forward. For example, publicly declaring a big goal, investing a significant sum, or quitting a safety net job. The power of an immediate anchor. Robbins teaches creating powerful anchors, a physical gesture, word, or sound that you link to an intense peak emotional state. When you want to compel yourself to act, you fire the anchor, instantly shifting your state to one of focus, energy, and determination, making action feel effortless. For instance, every time you complete a task, you might clench your fist and say, "Yes," associating pleasure with completion, so that when you need to start a new task, using that same gesture can compel you. The must versus should. Philosophy. Most people operate from a should mindset. I should exercise. I should save money. Shoulds are easily broken. Robbins urges a shift to a must mindset. I must exercise. I must save money. When something becomes a must, your brain creates new rules and associations that compel you to act, making inaction unbearable. This internal shift is critical for consistent follow-through. Practical application. Define your musts. Convert your most important shoulds into musts. Write down the compelling reasons why it's a must. Create compelling consequences. What will be the massive pain if you don't take action? Visualize it vividly. Create compelling rewards. What will be the massive pleasure if you do take action? Visualize it vividly. Build a ritual of compulsion. Before a task you tend to procrastinate on, engage in a quick ritual to shift your state. Change your physiology. Visualize the pain of inaction and the pleasure of action, and state your musts, identity, reinforcement. Consistently affirm who you are becoming. E.g., I am a person who always follows through. I am a master of my commitments. Day 7. The ultimate challenge. Contribution and constant growth. Explanation. On this climactic day, Robbins highlights that true, lasting fulfillment comes not just from personal achievement, but from constant growth and meaningful contribution. He argues that the ultimate purpose of life is to give, and by focusing on adding value to others, we unlock our greatest potential and experience profound joy. This day is about making a definitive commitment to continuous personal evolution and selflessly serving the world around you. Deep analysis. Psychologically, humans are wired for both growth and contribution. When we stop learning, expanding, and giving, we begin to stagnate. The pursuit of purely selfish goals, even if achieved, often leaves a void. Contribution, however, provides a powerful sense of purpose, validates our existence, and connects us to something larger than ourselves. It shifts our focus from our own problems to solutions for others, which paradoxically often diminishes our own challenges. Robbins emphasizes that true growth involves continually raising our standards, pushing beyond our comfort zones, and learning from every experience. It's the ultimate sharpen the saw from Covey's Habits, but applied with the added dimension of giving back. This commitment to perpetual growth and contribution becomes a powerful, self-reinforcing loop that sustains fulfillment. Illustrative examples. The power of giving back. Robbins often shares stories of individuals who found their greatest fulfillment not through accumulating wealth, but through using their resources and talents to help others. He might speak of a successful entrepreneur who, after achieving financial freedom, dedicated his life to philanthropy, building schools, or providing clean water in underserved communities. Their initial achievements became merely the platform for their ultimate contribution, leading to a deeper sense of purpose and joy. Continuous learning and mastery. Consider a master musician or athlete. They don't stop practicing once they reach a high level. They commit to constant growth, continually refining their skills, learning new techniques, and pushing their boundaries. This relentless pursuit of improvement, often for the joy of the craft itself and to inspire others, is a form of contribution and fuels their enduring passion. Solving problems for others. Many successful businesses don't just sell products. They solve deeply felt problems for their customers. When a company truly commits to understanding and solving its customers' challenges, it naturally grows and thrives. This commitment to contribution, solving problems, becomes a powerful driver of both achievement and fulfillment for the organization and its employees. Practical application. Commit to constant growth. Identify areas where you want to continue growing, personally, professionally, emotionally. Set specific, measurable goals for learning new skills, expanding your knowledge, or improving your abilities. Define your contribution. What is your unique way to add value to others? How can you make a difference in your family, community, workplace, or the world? This doesn't have to be grand. It can be small, consistent acts of kindness or service. Integrate giving into your life. Schedule time for volunteering, mentoring, or simply being present for loved ones. Make contribution a habitual part of your existence. Embrace challenges as growth opportunities. View every setback or difficulty not as a failure, but as a crucial lesson and an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resourceful. Live with purpose. Regularly connect with your ultimate why, your deepest values and purpose in life, and ensure your actions are consistently aligned with serving something greater than yourself. Conclusion. Living an extraordinary life. Your destiny awaits. We now conclude our profound journey through Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. This wasn't merely an audiobook. It was an intensive training ground for your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. We began by uncovering the power of your decisions, driven by the primal forces of pain and pleasure, and learned to repattern your brain through neuro-associative conditioning, NAC. We then explored how our belief systems and even our language and metaphors fundamentally shape our reality. Finally, we moved into the practical application, learning to master our emotions, physical vitality, relationships, finances, and time, all leading to the ultimate purpose of constant growth and meaningful contribution. Tony Robbins' core message is a resounding declaration of human potential. You have within you an unlimited capacity to create the life you truly desire. The giant isn't some external force. It's the untapped power residing within your own mind, your own emotions, and your own will. This book has given you the ultimate toolkit to awaken that giant. It's about consciously designing your destiny, taking relentless action, and living with passion, purpose, and profound fulfillment. Remember, knowledge is only potential power. The true transformation comes from applying these principles consistently. This isn't a one-time read. It's a lifelong commitment to mastery. Go forth, implement these strategies, raise your standards, and start living the extraordinary life you were born to live. Your destiny is not something you find, it's something you create, one empowering decision at a time. Call to action for your YouTube channel. If the insights and energy of Tony Robbins in this summary have ignited a fire within you, I strongly encourage you to immerse yourself fully in the original Awaken the Giant Within. The comprehensive exercises, personal stories, and deep dives within the book will undoubtedly accelerate your journey of transformation. We'd love to hear from you. What's one specific action you're committed to taking immediately after listening to this summary to awaken your own giant? Or which of the 7 days, chapters, resonated most deeply with your current life situation? Share your commitments and insights in the comments below. Your journey inspires this entire community. If you found this comprehensive audiobook summary valuable, please give this video a thumbs up to support the channel. Subscribe for more transformative book insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into life-changing wisdom. Thank you for listening, and remember, the quality of your life is the quality of your decisions. Make them now.